Hey everybody, welcome to another skincare video and happy March to you, finally. I wanted to dedicate the month of March to the eye area, so we'll talk about some dark circle myths, and I wanted to do a demonstration of a product and concealer for you here today live, and also just some tips and tricks of the general eye care. So let's start with dark circles, something that plagues a lot of us in varying degrees. If you have pretty severe dark circles, you probably have a mama or an auntie or a grandma that have the same. This is a lot of times genetic. Of course, there are variables that can sort of change the appearance of the under eye area on the day-to-day, and these include things like dehydration or sleeping habits, allergies, food choices, lifestyle choices. There's really lots of those, but overall, a dark circle is sort of indicated by the thinness or thickness of the skin that you were born with underneath your eye area. So imagine this, if you will, a piece of tissue paper over top a flashlight. Obviously, that very bright light is going to starkly shine through the very transparent piece of paper. As you add more pieces of tissue paper, the light becomes less and less visible. And this is sort of the same concept with the under eye area. When you think of those anatomy posters with the human muscular system and you look at the face and the eyes, it's just a bunch of muscles and blood vessels. That's really all that encapsulates that area. And if you have very thin skin under your eye, much like that tissue paper, very transparent, those blood vessels are going to be very visible through the skin, and they're going to sort of reflect themselves in a reddish purple, like a bruisey color, a purplish blue, even a greenish blue. It just depends. But the thicker your skin is underneath your eye, the less visible those blood vessels are, the less shadowing created. And I've even seen the opposite side of the spectrum, where someone will have really, really thick skin underneath the eye that's actually several shades lighter than the rest of the face. And if this is a woman, then they actually need darker concealer under their eyes as opposed to lighter. So it happens in all different arrays of skin thinness and thickness. Because this is something that you're born with, much like pores, structurally they just kind of are what they are. Be weary of any kind of topical eye treatment or product or cream that makes the claim that it can eradicate or eliminate your dark circles. This is pretty much an untruth, because there's not a whole lot topically that can be done for this. There are things that can be added, like highlighting elements, brightening pigments, things like crushed pearl, stuff like that, to sort of give the illusion of a brighter under eye to diminish the shadowing, but it's by no means a fix or a cure. It's just a temporary illusion of a highlighted effect. A lot of these kinds of creams can run well up into the $80, $90 mark. And to be honest, you're just much better off getting a good concealer. The formulations are beautiful, the consistencies are gorgeous, and this is what concealer is intended to do. Now, some of you might not be able to find any kind of concealer or even color corrector that works on your dark circles. They might be that severe. There is hope for you in the dermatological world. There's wonderful injectables out now that actually go right under the eye area here. This is also good for hollowed eyes, and they'll take this very watery, viscous material and inject it right in here. And what it does is that material will sort of fill in the space between the skin and the blood vessels, lengthening it out, filling that space in, and making those dark circles less visible. So there are options for you out there if that's something that you can do. For the rest of us, however, who have pretty minor to mild dark circles, concealer works just fine. And that's what I want to show you today, just a little demonstration. Of course, before you put your concealer on, you always want to have super hydrated, moist, plump skin under your eye area. That's where Nourish Rich for neck and eye comes in. This is my Silky Butter Cream. You guys know I love this. And I use this every single day before I put my makeup on under my eye area. There's really nothing worse than trying to put concealer under a super dry under eye area. It's just a big old mess. So make sure you get a little bit of this on. You can go on the website, of course, to get that. I'm going to put I didn't do this eye. I don't know if you can tell. I didn't do this eye, so I'm going to put just a touch of eye cream on here. And here's another beautiful thing about there being so many blood vessels under your eye area. It makes this part of your body incredibly warm. Anywhere where there's lots of blood circulation, there's warmth. So whatever you put under your eye area, I always like to tell people to just let it set there for 30 seconds a minute. That heat is just going to melt everything. It's going to melt this cream into a buttery consistency. It's going to melt your concealers. Because your eye is so warm, there's really no need for you to ever do any kind of aggressive rubbing or tugging or pulling or anything. When you're removing your eye makeup, please remove it delicately. Gentle strokes. When you're applying things, gentle does it. Treat your eye area like lace. It's good advice. So this is pretty much nice and warm, and I'm just going to kind of do a very light rub and then tap it in. And you do always want to kind of tap with your ring finger. There's a lot less pressure on your ring finger than, say, your forefinger. And the less pressure around the eye area, the better for sure. So this is getting in there real nice. And that is just going to hydrate that eye area, just fill in some of those creases and crinkles, and just really allow that skin to be nice, smooth canvas for my concealer application. And I really just have to wait about 30 seconds for that to fully kind of penetrate, which it already kind of has. So I'm going to do concealer now, where's my concealer brush? Okay, I found it. Okay, so concealer. This is something a lot of you might not know, but your dark circles actually start right about here. This little divot right here by the corner of the eye, most people have this sort of carved out crevice there that actually begins the shadowing of a dark circle. Most people also have dark circles that only go to about the midpoint of the eye. Very few people have any shadowing or darkness that go this way, that trail off to the end of the eye there. So if you can, just don't put anything over there. You know, this is where our little laugh lines are, and more of those creases and things, that the less emollient-based makeup products that you can put around this area, the better, because they'll just end up settling and all that kind of thing. So here we go. Just right here in that little crease, I'm going to get some concealer, and then I'm going to go just halfway down, the halfway mark of my eye. And also my blood vessels are very visible right underneath the lash line, both on the top and bottom lids. Actually, they're so severe sometimes that it looks like I'm wearing purple eyeshadow on the tops. They're really just very, you can just see those blood vessels right through. So I take about 1/8 of an inch right underneath here and just really get that lower lash line as well, just to conceal that. And much like the cream, I'm not going to touch this for about 30 seconds to a minute. I'm going to allow this concealer to heat up like a butter, so that all I have to do is go in there and press with my finger. So that's what I'm going to do. Between the heat, I call this squidging. I don't know what you call this. I just squidge it in. I don't rub, I don't tug, I don't do anything. I'm doing up and down motions. This is it in slow motion. That's all you have to do. Between the heat of the eye, the heat of your finger, you're literally just melting this product right on the surface where it needs to go. This is why in general concealer is such a strategically placed product that it's good to use the very last step of your makeup application, because you can just put it where you want and then just tap it in and it'll stay put. So that's about it. Makes a huge difference, brightens the area, and that was fun. I love to do eye stuff. Definitely an improvement. But thank you for watching. I wanted to do a super quick PSA today because I had to go in to get 5 more little pre-cancers frozen off last week. They're healing now, they're scabbing up, but you know, I'm someone who wears SPF 50 on the daily, and I haven't purposefully basked in the sun for over a decade. So I don't know how this happened. So, I mean, obviously it's hereditary. So I just want to put out there to all my over 40s, you guys get checked out, go to the derm, make your annual appointment. If you have a stubborn significant other who won't make their own appointment, make it for them and take their butts in and get them checked out. Keep track of your suspicious marks and just go get yourself checked out, because it's kind of a big deal. Okay. So thanks for listening. Enjoy your month, and I'll catch you next time for some more fun skin stuff. Bye-bye.